SANS Forensics 528, Ransomware for Incident Responders, teaches students all about ransomware, how to detect, how to hunt, and how to respond to ransomware threat actors who might be within their environment. The overall goal is to provide 4 extremely hands-on days, kinesthetic learning, hands on the keyboard, right? For students to truly get a feel for how did ransomware start, how did it evolve to become such a massive threat, and what are the big things that have occurred over time that they really need to keep their eyes on. So human operated ransomware, ransomware as a service, how do those drive the entire ecosystem that we now know as ransomware? It's no longer simply a piece of malware. It's an entire business ecosystem. There were over 2,600 posts describing victims to data leak sites in 2022 alone. That's just what we know about, right? That's the public lens, essentially. So real world intrusions need to be understood. So what we did is we took an amalgamation of all these various types of attacks and we synthesized them down into 2 different groups. Some attacks literally taken directly from various case studies worked throughout the past couple of years. And we've provided a data set to the students to go through, and we've shown them exactly how the attack lifecycle occurs. We begin with the initial infection vector. How do they maintain persistence? What command and control mechanisms, software tools do they use? How do they get those tools in the environment? How do they gather credentials? How do they elevate privileges? How do they move laterally? And then the real big questions here for ransomware specifically, right, is what the heck did they access and or exfiltrate? So we show students what artifacts to gather, what logs to gather, how to parse those items, and then how to analyze those items. The first 3 days are curriculum based, with around 50% of each day, 40 to 50% being hands-on labs. The 4th day is a full day capture the flag, where students just tear apart all the artifacts. We're using Zimmerman tools. We're using Elasticsearch to do analysis at scale. We're going over things that are in the Forensics 500 poster, the red poster, Windows Forensic Analysis. A lot of those artifacts are covered. We use the Forensics 508 poster in our course. I've kind of adopted both of them, to be honest, for 528. We talk about hunting evil and looking at lateral movement, all of these event IDs, a lot of the things that students will need to know in order to work a large APT case are also covered in this course. It's just through the lens of a ransomware attack. So the goal is to get students with their hands on the keyboards in order to parse these objects, in order to analyze these objects, and to answer the 4 big questions that many organizations are going to want to know. How did the threat actor get into our environment? How long have they been here? And for that matter, are they still here? Where did they go? And what did they take? Or for that matter, what did they access? And that's what Forensics 528 Ransomware for Incident Responders is all about.